As we get ready to say goodbye to the Acolyte, it seems that things are not all right with the media push for the grand finale. So what are you to do if you're the former personal assistant to one Harvey Weinstein and nobody cares about your show? Well, maybe the entire grift is stir up a little bit more controversy. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel. We explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve, and by golly, we have a good time doing it, even if it is much to the chagrin of the Hollywood elites. But folks, we believe you, of course, you're the elite, highest IQ audience on the web right here, and we're glad to have you with us. Folks, as we dive into today's content, consider clicking the like button, and we're going to show you today that the strategy du jour out of Disney seems to be controversy. It may be the only way possible they can drive up interest in the grand finale. So strap in, folks. We're going to show you how Leslye Headland, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, how she is attempting, we suppose, to gin up a little bit more. Chin up. Because most people's eyes, when it comes to the Acolyte, are already fully closed.
Oh, I was just going to say, to your point, Pro, about, they can't, they'll always keep finding things. It's they'll sell you the disease, or they'll make you sick and then sell you the cure. That's exactly what it is the entire time. Oh, you have a problem you didn't know you had with Gnosticism or whatever. Oh, let us show you what's wrong.
They don't sell you the cure. They sell you the thing to help you live with it. That's the
There you go. That's even better, Tom. Yes, yes.
Big Pharma in little Disneyland.
Big Woka.
So again, folks, we don't manufacture these segues. They just happen. It's the lovely thing about the show today. They would never let a woman be objectified in the way that they continuously objectify men now. And they don't objectify men in a way that is in any way masculine, right? When they did the thing to Thor, it was to mock him and his bare buttocks, in front of Zeus. And here with this guy, let's find out what Leslye Headland has to say about Smilo Ren. This is out of an article over on Bounding into Comics. And it's by somebody. I don't know.
Some guy with great hair now.
That's right.
It's great.
Better hair than this fellow down here. The Acolyte showrunner Leslye Headland stands behind the Khmer bathing scene. From a narrative perspective, he was just too smelly. I mean, Smilo. It had to happen. It had to. All right, let's find out what she says. According to the Acolyte showrunner, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslye Headland, the nude Khmer bathing scene featured in the Acolyte's most recent episode was not just included solely for fan service, but primarily because it was absolutely necessary to the series' narrative. Reminds me of that necessary downgrade for Tiana's.
Yes.
One of the opening set pieces of the Star Wars 6 episode Teach Corrupt, the scene in question centers on OSHA. Now we're going to scroll down because I think that ad might get us.
Yeah.
Following a
recap too.
Following a couple solid minutes watching Khmer disrobe, slink into a local hot spring for no reason at all, folks, and begin to wash himself without soap, which is important. OSHA approaches his gear and contemplates striking him down because, well, he killed everyone she loves. At least she thinks he has. In her mind, he's literally killed everyone that she knows. However, much to her surprise, the villain is already aware of her presence, as just when she gets ready to kill the man who has killed everyone she knows and loves, he says, "Feels good, doesn't it?" Taken aback by his question, she freezes and doesn't know how to respond. Guess what? Here's what we have. It says, in a significant thematic deviation from other Star Wars productions, but much to the delight of fangirls everywhere, all three of them, during this entire first part of the pair's conversation, the camera makes it a point to focus, almost the point of reveling in, Khmer's very nude body. And though this extremely thirsty moment seemed out of place, in Headland's opinion, it was absolutely necessary. Pressed during a post-episode 6 interview with Collider's Maggie Lovett as to how far she was allowed to push things with how much skin was shown, Headland explained, Lucasfilm really believed in my vision. From a narrative perspective, it had to happen. It just had to. He did like a Steven Seagal neck snap in the previous episode. She said, how do you get from that to humanity? Like, how do you make the girl fall in love with the guy who just murdered everyone? It's like Beauty and the Beast, Leslye, except it's like if the Beast came down and massacred the entire town, and then Belle was like, you're kind of hairy. I'm into that now. The only way to do that is to show him in such a wildly vulnerable position. Oh, he's so vulnerable. I can't think of something more vulnerable than someone holding a lightsaber on someone who's that exposed. I just don't. I feel like he was so merciless in that previous episode that he had to stand in front of her and say, "You absolutely can kill me. Essentially, I'm at your mercy." This, guys, girls, this is the dumbest thing. Like, this hurts my brain.
This is so stupid. And can I just say this? It's like we did not earn the right to see this being revealed. There's no true relationship. There's no tension. There's no nothing. It's just like, hey, we're going to show you this half-naked guy again. And not for nothing, but he's not The Rock. Okay? Just no.
And she's holding a lightsaber, so obviously there's a brisk coming to the plot.
Well, there's a whip involved. There's a whip involved, so clearly this is 50 Shades of Grey Jedi. But at the end of the day, this is for the YA audience, like we said before. And the hypocrisy and the double standard is there. There's even some people admitting to the double standard and they don't care. Right, like that just goes to show you the mentality
Tom,
in it.
This is beyond even like YA shipping, right? Because like, we know that the YA crowd, they all love their shipping. They love to pair them up. Oh, everybody you're seeing come out of the woodworks for this scene are like the 30+ wine aunts. They're people like,
these are the Twilight crowd. These are the Raylos. Yeah. No, and this is what I was going to bring up earlier, but I knew we were going to get to this topic, so I saved it for now. Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with fan theories. There's nothing wrong with shipping as long as it doesn't encroach on reality. Let me take you back a little bit to where I finally look, the Raylos stuff. I had my run-ins with those guys too. They're all nuts, but I could never figure out why these people are so insane. And it's because they let this encroach on reality. Pardon my French, but it's true because I couldn't figure it out. Let me take you back, like I think 2-3 years now when It Chapter 2 came out. Okay, there was a bunch of people in the gay community that were freaking out, just freaking out about the movie, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe they did this." Like, well, if you read the 35-year-old book, you'd know that a gay guy dies in the beginning of the story. They just put it at the beginning of part 2. And everybody's like, they betrayed us, and they couldn't figure it out. Did some digging and research, come to find out what it all had to boil down to was a bunch of shippers had gay shipped Pennywise the Clown with Babadook. And because they saw it as a betrayal that he killed the gay character, it's like, you idiots, he's a space monster who kills kids.
Well, a really psycho one too.
It's like, if you're really letting that kind of stuff encroach on your life and get that upset about it and that emotional about it, it's like you really, really need some therapy here. Like, and it's kind of the same stuff here. Look, it's fine as long as it goes to a healthy point, but once you go past that healthy point, that's where it goes weird and crazy, and that's where the Raylos and now whatever you want to call these, Kamir and what's her name, Osha.
Who cares? It's good
is that
twin
what they're
and
calling it?
Smilo Ren.
Kosha?
No, good twin and Smilo Ren. Who, by the way, good twin is not even good anymore, so nobody knows what's going on. But we need to make a new rule, guys. There's got to be a new theory that we put forth where if a writer says that it had to be this way, it means the opposite, right? There's got to be a theory about that, because anytime someone says it had to be this way, it's always a failed defense where everyone knows that's not true, because you have a spectrum of opportunities, a plethora of things that you can do with a script. And if you pick the one that everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, this is terrible," and your defense is, "It had to be." Listen, this is a naked man who has force food his way through 3,000 Jedi in the last episode in the dark of night, minus one 12-year-old girl who smashed his helmet. He's a beast. No one believes that just because he's naked that he couldn't send her 50 feet into a wall at high velocity and take his lightsaber back. Just because his wee-wee is out doesn't mean that he's suddenly weak. I'm sorry, but that's what this Leslye Headland girl, she wants it to be about. That's why we've got to see that he's standing there in the water, pointing straight at poor good twin. She's been exposed. That's the most danger she's in the whole episode.
Okay, I will offer one slight pushback, but it's in service of your point, which is, I get what Headland is trying to say, where she's saying, "Oh, look at him being exposed. He's letting her hold the lightsaber. This is vulnerability." That is correct. The problem is, it's all in service of a really, really bad story. even though you got that one move right, the way you landed it was not good. Everything it was in service of was not good. Oh, okay, cool. You showed his vulnerability, but it's like you're saying, Pro, you're showing the vulnerability and sparking a romance between the guy like Osha and the guy who just murdered everybody she knew in less than like an hour.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not good storytelling, no matter how much you try to justify. Oh, look, I used this writing trope, or I did this thing, or I introduced whatever that metal is that I'm like blanking on right now, the corrosis. Like, it doesn't matter if everything at the base is just terrible.
And
imagine, Spencer, if in Aladdin, if Jafar as a snake, the giant snake creature just suddenly turned back into Jafar and was like, you know what? Being bad, that's kind of sucked. Here, let me take my clothes off. Let's have an emotional talk now.
Well, I don't know if that's a good example.
We're all laughing because it's stupid. We just watched something that should make people laugh because it's so stupid.
I was just going to say, I don't know if that's a good example because Jafar is definitely 90s gay, okay? Like, that's... which is smooth, cool, got a lot of class and taste.
That's why he was really jealous of Aladdin, right?
Yes, that was really what it boiled down to.
Jafar is the gay that you might not agree with his lifestyle, but you know his apartment looks great.
Exactly my point. And he smells good, right? Like, you don't understand. Like, what is it you do? What's your regiment? Because you always smell like cocoa butter. Like,
and he owns a parrot for some reason. I mean,
yes,
we've all known this
exactly.
guy.
He's the quintessential.
He's Salvador Dali.
when the haters use a clip from our show to prove that we're idiots, this will be the clip where they say, "We told you they're stupid, they're morons. They're talking about Jafar's gay apartment. These people don't deserve your attention." That'll be the clip. We're having fun.
They'll make fun of us. They'll make fun of us. But coming to Disney Plus next year, Jafar's gay apartment.
Jafar's
series.
A Disney Junior show.
How the ivory drapes over the awning of the.
How can that be made for Disney Junior? Because that's where it's going. I'll guarantee you.
And sand. Arabia always has sand everywhere.
Like that, bro.
I hate sand. It gets everywhere.
There you go, folks. Coming to a Disney Junior near you, and maybe they'll have it at Hollywood
Decorating
Studios.
with Jafar.
Who knows?
You can never go too far with Jafar.
And folks, we've come to the end yet again of another video of pure excellence. Why is it so excellent? Well, because you joined us, and that makes it quite the conversation. You can join the conversation, by the way, by, well, just dropping a comment down below. Be a part of a community dialogue. We would love to have you. And while you're at it, like, share, and subscribe. You can also click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Folks, we'll have the Acolyte after party after the grand finale, and I use the word grand as loosely as I ever have in that last phrase. We'll see you at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday night. We can't wait to see you. We have a feeling this finale will not be all right, but we're going to have a mighty fun time laughing and mocking and cheering, and there is the 0.0001% chance it'll be good, and we would say so if that were the case. All right, folks, we will see you real soon. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.